Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. So we just got back in from North Bay and doing some running and went into Long McQuaid where we're there and picked up one of these DAddario sound hole humidifiers. I'll give you a real up close look at this thing. Looks pretty sick. It even indents itself inward when you put it in the guitar. It's kind of cool. So it's got a little sponge inside, so you pull the cap off and dampen the sponge. And the idea behind this is it's called the Screeching Halt Humidifier. So it's going to help maintain the humidity in your guitar when your safe levels fall below 40-60%, which is relative humidity. So when you go below 40, things can get a little snaky on your guitars. And so this, whether it's in the case or out of the case, is going to keep the body and the neck joint humidified. Which is that's pretty cool. I do have a sound hole humidifier, the type that you jam between the two strings here, between your D and G. And they work great if you're going to continually keep the guitar in the case. And it also helps, in my opinion, it actually helps put humidity into the case as well, because humidity, the cases can steal humidity away from your guitar, so you need to always have humidity even inside the case. And you got to keep an eye on things, right? So the sound hole ones are great. I love them. They work good. And but I also want to have the ability to put my Martin on the wall. We're also trying a little bit different trick for humidifying the entire house. So we have the humidifier now outside of my studio, and as long as I leave the door open, of course, airflow goes around, right? We also picked up one of those, it's similar to a Vicks, what do you call it? Well, it's the heated humidifier. Normally you put some Vicks stuff in there, and you know, the steam causes the vapors to go through when you're sick. So we got one of those things, just with straight water in it. So it's actually heating water, and we got the cold water humidifier going at the same time. And I found just in the studio alone, within probably about an hour and a half, I jumped from like 27 to like 50. And it was like, cool. I don't want to get it too far out of control though, because 50 is a little muggy in here. So we're actually going to do the entire house and climatize the entire house so I can leave the door open and everything's going to be fine for humidity. But I wanted something for the Martin, especially because I want to be able to keep it on display on my wall up here, so I can just grab and go when I'm in here, right? And this little sucker is going to do the trick. The other thing that's good about this, they say, is it's great for reducing your feedback when playing live. And you get to humidify as you're playing, which is even really cool too. So I've got it installed here, and if you've watched any of my videos on the DRS1 Martin, it's a bit of a loud guitar, which is fine, you know, and it's a really nice sounding, but this is, right now, it's unamplified, and I'm just going to play it with this thing in here. Boy, has that ever quieted down. So even if you wanted to play really super quiet on your acoustic, that would actually do it for you. So I think that's nice, because it's a nice tight seal. So I'm going to take this, and we're going to turn on the wireless. And I'm going through my Katana amp, so this is what it's now going to sound like amplified. So now I can actually sit in here and demo this guitar for you with barely even hearing this at all. That's on my clean channel. Yeah, it is. Okay, acoustic channel. That's going to be a difference. Yes, acoustic preamp channel. So it works great as a feedbacker. Also reduces the output of your guitar a lot, you know. Make sure you set your master and your tone control where you want it on the guitar if you have the inside kit like I do. But this is, again, no amplification. Now if I take this thing out, now here's the guitar by itself, no amplification and no DAddario feedbacker. Now let's turn on the wireless. So that's actually pretty awesome. And that was only like 17 bucks for this little thing, and I'm like, well, that's kind of really awesome. And it's pretty thick. It's, you know, it's definitely well built. And when you pull the little cap off here, there's your sponge inside. So you got your little white sponge, and you just dampen it, you know, and it'll do its thing. So there's not a lot of water in there because you don't want a lot anyway. But there's enough. It keeps it humidified. And you just slide it under, line up the notches with your neck here. And it's a nice tight seal, which is really good. And I like how it concaves inward with the lid so that it stays completely away from your strings. And that is a really super airtight seal. So for the 16 bucks I paid for this little toy, it's definitely worth it. It's going to keep my guitar properly humidified even if the humidity is below 40%, which it actually is right now. That will keep my guitar safe, and I can keep it on the rack, grab it when I need it, plug it in, do my stuff. If I want to play straight acoustically, I can take it out while I want to play just acoustically, which is also really good. So I'm quite happy with that. You know, I really, I would have to give this thing definitely a 4.5 out of 5, real easy, you know. But other than that, I mean, it's great. It's definitely worth the money for under 20 bucks, and it protects your guitar even when it's in the wide open. If you read the whole read-up on here, it actually tells you everything, and I'm going to just quickly read it anyways for you guys. The DAddario Screeching Halt Humidifier allows you to humidify your guitar's body and neck joint even in the driest conditions, while on display or during extended periods when your instrument will be outside its case. The humidifier releases moisture slowly and evenly while capturing the vapor inside the body of the instrument to retain the proper humidity level. Maintaining the humidifier is as simple as moistening the sponge when the humidity falls below a safe level, 40 to 60% relative humidity. The Screeching Halt humidifier can also be used as a feedback reducer when playing live, keeping your guitar properly humidified even during performances. And the instructions are pretty idiot-proof as far as pull the cap off, pull out the sponge, dampen the sponge. You don't want the sponge wet to the point where it's going to be raining inside your guitar. You know, you want it damp, but you don't want to be having water everywhere, because that's bad. Okay, and it's got some pretty big vent holes too in this thing. And it is a really airtight seal. I mean, that is just amazing. And what's even nicer is that the way they located the electronics in my sound hole for my controls, this thing doesn't even go anywhere near them. So that's, again, another bonus. So it just slides right in there perfect. Doesn't obstruct anything. So that's great. So you know what? For 16, well, I think it was like $16.25 before tax, something like that. Definitely worth every penny. Protects your investment, especially when you're playing around with expensive guitars, but any guitar, period, including those with just having even just a solid top on it. You know, so I would definitely recommend these. Now the other type that is one of the other types available, there's a few actually. This is the other style that I have, and this just goes between your D and G string, and then you close up your guitar in its case. Simple as that. So this is not really meant for the whole, keep it in there for display purposes. It can help a bit, but that is your best solution, is the DAddario one that I just installed in that guitar. These ones here, you just pull the lid, take the lid, grab the sponge here. Now this sponge is still pretty damp, which is good, and because I've been actually leaving this in my Taylor, my baby Taylor, even just being on display. Because I'm trying to do some troubleshooting to see, you know, how well does this work out in the open, because it does sit in the sound hole, so it is still going to release humidity into the body, but how well will it do it in comparison? And I think either way, I mean, this is going to be your best solution, is this one that just completely covers the sound hole with a nice airtight seal. So that's pretty cool. So anyways, I got this at Long and McQuaid in North Bay. I will leave the link on the website, or sorry, in the description of the video for their website. You can order them online. Go into your local Long and McQuaid store, you know, especially if you're Canadian, because that's where they all are, is all in Canada. But any music store, look at these. You probably find these on Amazon as well as many other places. And definitely it is worth the money for the investment, and it's not that expensive. Just for that other one I showed you, I paid, I think it was about 17 bucks or something, 18 bucks. You know, so it cost me a little bit more, and this is so much nicer. The advantage of the other style is you can just take it out and you can play acoustically right away, or you can plug in, it's your choice, and you still have the sound coming out of your guitar fully, whereas this other style that I just got today, this one actually quiets your guitar down a fair amount. But it's still good even if you just want to sit and jam and, you know, and you want to be quiet, you know. It definitely silences your guitar a lot. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and got a lot out of it. We'll definitely catch you guys on the next one. So thanks for watching, and rock on.